major moment in chapter 7, her preparing to get out. And her dad, he wants his community to be safe.
Yeah.
She said, we got to go.
Right.
That's how I feel about America.
He's in the rebuilding type of thing, and she's like, why are we rebuilding a sinking ship?
It's already sinking. There's nothing we can do except go.
Welcome to another episode of As a Man Reader. This is Trey D.
And go there.
We have another few chapters of review and conversation from this book right here, Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower. If you've been with us for a while, you know we've been moving through, having conversation, and the arc of this story is getting really good. And so it's been a great build, and it's getting more intense. And we're not even at halfway yet. And so I'm excited to continue this conversation with you, G.
Well, man, look. We ended around chapter 6 last time, so we're going to jump into 7 and 8. 7, we are all God's seed, but no more or less so than any other aspect of the universe. God's seed is all there is. All that changes. Earthseed is all that spreads earth life to new earths. The universe is God's seed. Only we are Earthseed, and the destiny of Earthseed is to take root among the stars. So that's how she begins 7.
Yep.
And how she's going from, she's creating her particular belief system, which is God is change. And she's calling that Earthseed. Okay, so how old is she now? 16? What is she? 15, 16?
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot to me for a young girl to even bring this stuff up.
Yeah.
Which is telling me she's beyond her years. Which tells me she's a planner. You see what I'm saying? Like, because if you're beyond your years, that means you have experience in some kind of way that puts you ahead of others.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. And so going into this chapter, she talks about preparing a backpack, an emergency pack. And she shares that with her dad. Mm-hmm. And her dad is like, you're basically putting all the good things in one space so people can come take your stuff. Mm-hmm. And she's like, but I can hide it though, Dad. I can hide it. Mm-hmm. Which is a good point. Mm-hmm. Because later on, thank God she hit it. You know what I mean? So in that though, what do you see that alluding to anything? Like is this symbolic of some type of way to live, I guess, is what I'm thinking.
I think you plan don't panic. You plan don't panic, right? So plan so that you don't have to panic. And I think that's the key. Matter of fact, you plan and practice so that you don't have to panic. And in that sense, man, I think she's doing the right thing. She's now, here's the cool thing about it. She is aware. Mm-hmm. She is attentive, right? Okay. She's accepting of the reality that she's in. She don't agree with it, but she's at least paying attention. She has a couple of disciplines that she's putting into place. She's some practices that she's doing, that she's learned, and that she's put in. She knows how to shoot. She knows how to fight. She knows how to prepare herself, and also how to protect herself. Right. That's what her family knows how to do. She knows how to pray. Also, but I think those are parts of that conversation. Things that she's doing, and I think for all of us. I think she's like, hey, just prepare yourself for what may come. And that allows you to, because a lot of times these tragedies, these challenges, they come rapidly. People are not prepared and they're trying to scramble. And the challenge with that is when there's a solution given and you're not prepared, sometimes you just take any old solution, and that can actually make it worse. Yeah. Quick thoughts.
Yeah. So she says in there too, I'm glad you said what you said, because she's finding what's true. There's this correlation between her super empathetic power and what you know. So she actually feels things when people get hurt. So she knows she's not wasting feelings on the truth. Is where my mind goes. There's a better way to say that, but it's like, I'm not, because look, people are probably going to come try to get into this area, into our community. They'll probably steal things from us. They'll probably kill us, displace us, all these things. And then other people are like, no, that's not going to happen. It's like, no, I'm just saying. It's probably going to happen, so let's prepare. But people are in their feelings.
Yep.
And she's like, y'all don't even know what feelings are. Like I'm a super feeler. So you're cool. Just know how you can prepare for this thing. She says, all you touch, you change. All that you change changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. She says that's true. And I was like, is that true? As I was thinking that through, I was like, this is kind of good stuff. She preaching.
Yeah. It's the way I say it is that you leave a legacy with every person that you encounter at every encounter, regardless if it's intentional or unintentional. You're going to leave a thumbprint. You're going to leave a signature with someone. You're going to leave something with them. And just like you said, everything, even, just putting my fingerprints on this desk here, it's something that's different. Everything's shifting, even in the breath that I'm breathing. It's changing the atmosphere in the room. And so all of that, man, it's just everything shifts.
All right. So to me, that was like the major moment in chapter 7, her preparing to get out, and her dad not dissuading her, because he's like, well, you can do other things to prepare to leave. But not that. There was something specific he said that I wanted to see. He was about rebuild, like he wants his community to be safe. She said we got to go.
Right.
That's how I feel about America.
He's in the rebuilding type of thing, and she's like, why are we rebuilding a sinking ship?
It's already sinking. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Except go. And sometimes that's just what it is. Sometimes you have to be ready to go. So that was the major movement in chapter 7. So let's go to 8.
Okay.
And I edit this part out, but I'm going to get 8. 8 was Keith. I think we kind of talked about.
We did a lot.
Keith,
we did a lot about Keith.
I think we might be good with Keith. Yeah, we might be good because we had a whole section on Keith.
Man, everybody doing chores at your house.
Everybody.
You got a train. You had the lawnmowers. It's going down.
Yeah. Had a blowers in a minute. What's 9? So 9, I kind of skipped 9. Hold on. What's 9? Is 9 Keith or 8 Keith? I thought 8 was Keith.
9. My parents' usual good judgments failed them this week. On my
what date?
My brother, August 17th, 2025. 2025.
Because I think it didn't even August what now?
17th.
See, 18. Where's the 17th at? I ain't even got 17.
Beginning of the chapter 9.
Yeah, all right. So it must happen in here somewhere. So real quick though, can we just talk about Keith's stubbornness?
Sure.
His like, it's something admirable about it, that he could be
okay.
So stubborn that you can't change this man's mind, but it got to be in the right direction, because you going to destruction, my friend. So, but if you could just turn destruction into life, he'd be good. And she uses, she makes the statement that her dad is smart and stubborn, whereas her brother is stubborn and not smart.
Yeah, that's and we call that stuck on stupid.
Stuck on it. And but I think that's an illusion or symbolic, or it's telling us something about that community. Keith is a representation of not planning. He's a representation of wanting to find something better, but just thinking it's just gonna happen. He's out here helping these thugs, these gangsters, how to read, not knowing who the gangsters are, thinking that he will be needed for as long as he's going to be needed, and not realizing he's probably pissing some people off. Because when I'm reading it, I'm not a big fan of Keith. I mean, I feel bad for him that he gets jacked up the way he gets jacked up, but I'm like, you kind of walked yourself into it, bro.
You gotta talk to Keith. You talk to Keith without looking at him. And I told you, don't go out there. Now you keep on going out there. I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't gonna make it back. You just you start talking to him when you don't look at him, but you talking right to him like, hey, listen, that ain't what you want, young buck. You gotta be in that particular place because he's not there. It's kind of like you step up here, it's gonna be a problem for you. He just let you. It's you go give him. You're giving him warnings of life outside of here is not what you think about. It was not what you think it is, and you think this is like prison. You think it's a lack of freedom, and I think that's interesting because out there is chaos, and so what you think as freedom is actually very chaotic, and that's interesting to think about. You look at it as liberty and no order. This is so much you could say there, but I see that in a lot of places. But I think Keith is the one that you're like, man, you can't save everybody.
You can't, because he's going. He was just on that path, and it's also indicative of how he was probably raised by his mom, Corey, sister mom, his mom Corey, who let him get away with stuff. Yeah. Whereas old girl had to always do the work, always get it done, always be, she's her father's child, not really her child. So yeah, man. So going into so I think we already talked about the last time they spoke, but in the last time that they spoke, she learned that he was living with some random dudes. We'll call them the gangsters out there in the streets. Dealing drugs or probably even killing people and taking stuff. Like he was always coming back with a bankroll of money, giving gifts to his little brothers and his mom. He still had that smile on his face. She said that mischievous smile when he put the fake blood on her when she was a kid. And she's that hyper why I keep wanting to say empathetic. Is it empathetic? Yeah. It's empathetic. Okay. Oh, I want to say emphatic. That's what I want to say right now.
Yeah, maybe you want to say empathic.
That's what I'm attempting to say. Empathic. Yeah. And so she could see and she knew. I think everybody knew. And every time you see him, it's a blessing. Like, woo, you made it one more. The length of time that he made it was amazing to me. Like I thought he'd be gone.
He thought he'd be like, huh? Whip. Yep. Yeah, that's true. But you know what? But you know what? I think Lauren knows. Is like, this ain't it, dog. This ain't it. And she's tried to give him a little warning. Yeah.
Right. But that's a great segue into when they get to 2026. She says, and I was like, man, this is deep. Civilization is to groups what intelligence is to individuals. It is a means of combining the intelligence of many to achieve ongoing group adaptation. Civilization, like intelligence, may serve well, serve adequately, or fail to serve its adaptive function. When civilization fails to serve, it must disintegrate unless it is acted upon by unifying internal or external forces. Again, who is this child writing this knowledge?
For sure.
This girl brilliant.
Yeah, this girl good.
She a superhero for real. So, and in 10, I think this is where we do find out about, hold on, here we go. Oh, this is the story. Oh, so in 10, they have that long conversation about, because her birthday is July 20th, right? Yep.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So I think it's the next day. August 26th. So it was about a month later, that's when he's found. That's when he's gone. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
in the chapter 10. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about what I want to talk about. Well, I don't know if there's anything you specifically want to talk about in 10, but for me, it was, well, it depends if that's what we're going to talk about. Do we want to talk about after so the big thing is he is found murdered. And then the community, though, when they go to the police were trying to blame people that were closer to him, like his family, his mom and his dad. And certain people, specifically Wardell Parish, was like, well, they got to arguing. And it was a big fight. And I was like, What the police gonna do about that? We all know mom and dad didn't do it, so why even give that information? Like, why? What's that about? So I think that's also like looking at how the community is now. The majority of the community said they didn't know nothing about it. One could be, I ain't trying to get into that business. Two is like, that's not going to help this investigation. And three is like, we just going to protect the community.
Yeah. It's I mean, this is definitely we know that this book has it's definitely a good social commentary of like how people move in community, right? And so I started thinking about since people don't know something, they make assumptions, and an assumption becomes the belief, and the belief comes the truth, and then that's the story they start telling. And and since that's the story they're going to tell, that's the lens they're going to use. So everything is going to have to go through whatever I already just conjured up in my head, right? And that's what you're seeing in this thing. Like, well, and then so whatever the assumption was, and it's just like, oh yeah, that's what's happening, and you don't know a damn thing. You don't even know what's actually going on. And so you see that in the news a lot, where people like, well, you know he's guilty. What?
No, I don't.
I don't
even know
a
what
thing.
they say.
What they got video. I don't. What we talk about? This video of him. It mean he had the same jacket on from LL Bean, the one from Walmart. He had a baseball cap on. Man, I ain't never seen one of those. It's stuff like that, man. It's like people believe what also makes a lot of times what makes them feel safe as well. So,
see,
yeah,
it's so that feeling.
That helps. That helps them. So to set them like, oh man, the outside is crazy. Nah. You know what? Because that it makes me feel safer to be like, oh man, the threat was coming from inside the house. That was something that's them. Not that, hey man, it's crazy out there, and he got involved with the wrong people. Right. It's weird. Yeah.
And police ain't going out. They not in this book. They not. No, they come across as pretty corrupt.
Yep.
And or fearful of what's really out there. I think once you lock yourself up in a silo, you put yourself in a position to not be informed.
Yeah.
And because you're in the silo, you don't know what's going on outside of you. And she is so big on what is going on around me. Okay, clearly it's not good things. We're hearing these things on the news and on radio. Now, do I want to believe everything I hear? No. However, there may be some validity to some of these things. So I need to prepare for these things. And so, yeah, I think Lauren just represents, I feel like our conscience, like that piece of us that wants to be the best self.
Ooh, that's good.
Like, that's you good. Know, you probably should wake up or not drink this thing or not eat this thing or exercise. So, but I like when she just knocks down some of her little truths, man. I don't necessarily know what I don't know if that's chapter 10 or 11.
I think that's 10 because then after that, that's when we lose Keith. Then we lose.
Not yet.
Pop.
Not yet. In 12 we lose Pops. So
right. Well, it's like okay, yeah. Well, we found out he's okay.
Yeah. So in 11, and I'm gonna start with one of her truths, and let's see, does this make sense? Any change may bear seeds of fruit. Any change may bear seeds of benefit. Seek them out. Any change may bear seeds of harm. Beware. God is infinitely malleable. God is change. I'm like, look, man, it's just like her and Keith again. It's like, look, we should leave. Yes, that's the benefit to leaving so we can get out of the condition we're in. However, we need to plan. No, I'm just going to go out there and live in a cardboard box. Oh, bro. And it had me thinking about my life. I said, how am I going about my plan? Kev on stage. Shout out to Kev. I just saw him on the Breakfast Club. And he said that when him and his wife, he was going to move out to LA. And he said it was during the mortgage crisis and all that type of stuff. And he was like, look, we'll just foreclose the house and go. She said, well, why don't we just rent it out? And he was like, that's brilliant. So what I'm saying is, sometimes you just gotta have a plan. Sometimes you gotta know when that's true. It's just like that community they're in. We can rebuild. We can do this and that. And it's like, but can we though? With everything that's going on outside, we've seen the bigger cities in LA fall. We've seen other towns fall. I think it's time to get out of LA. I think it's time to get out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see certain things and then you have to make a choice. And what's the choice that benefits? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was saying you got to. Okay, what's the pattern telling us? At least what I know we talk about. So it's one thing to follow the trends, but also what is trending. What is trending right now, so that we can at least anticipate a particular action and plan accordingly, right? So if the trend is destruction is moving this way from larger, right? Destruction is moving this way. Month after month, year after year, that's the pattern. That's the rhythm right now. And we need to basically figure out how to dance the proper jig to go on about our business. In my opinion.
And I'm with that. And the ability to discern. And I think that discernment comes from learning basic skills. Because then you can discern for yourself. If it's like, if our trees are dying, it's like, well, why is the tree dying? And you check the soil and you're not getting certain things in your soil and you don't have the thing to put in the soil to get it. It's probably either a time to move or a time to figure out how to get that thing there. But they're not in the position to get the thing there. So you might have to go to where it is. I don't think anybody wants to do this. But I think about my big mama. I think about on my dad's side, and then I think about my grandparents on my mom's side who all immigrated. They all went from Jamaica to London was my mom's side. It was a whole different country. And then my grandma, my big mama, left Monticello, Georgia, to come to the big city, Atlanta, and they stayed. And I still got family in the country. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like different types of mentalities. Those who stayed versus those who left, and it's very interesting to witness. It's an interesting thing. So, because I told you I went there to the family reunion, we were going over some things, and everything they had was meat, and I was like, "Hey, can we get some salad, some?" And everybody looked at me. I was like, "What?" And I didn't feel that bad. Now one tray, I was like, "I'm a grown ass man. I don't want to eat." I literally saw them cutting pig. They had the pig skin, literal pig skin.
Yeah, seen it.
Slicing it and putting it on the grill, making pork rinds right in my face. I was like, "Hey, that's y'all." And I'm cool with it. I just don't eat it.
Yeah.
But I remember having the feeling of like, oh, I don't know if they think I'm better or I don't know what they think. I just know what's coming to me, and I'm like,
right,
yeah.
But do we have salad? Do we have any alternatives? I need that either way.
Right. Oh, all right. So chapter 11. The main thing in chapter 11 to me was that KSF place.
Okay.
It was the company that's basically saying, "Hey, y'all can come out here." Because they're in between like LA and the coast, I think, or something of that nature. So that company filters out the water, and then it does something. But long story short is basically you get to save. You get a place to stay, and you get a working wage, and you can bring your families here. And of course, Reverend, nah, son, because of the books he read about the early 2000s or early 1900s. They call the towns something. What do they call those towns? The company city subgenre. I've never seen one where the hero fought like hell to get taken in and underpaid by the company. Oh man. Oh, and they allude to the books. Like they learn from the books about then so they can know what to do now. Because most times, you know, in these novels, the hero gets to the truth and then explains it to the common folk like, we should take over the company and win, yay! And it's like, that's not what folks are doing right now.
Yeah. I think I'm going back to this conversation. Dad, as he's talking through, he's, what day is this? This is October 20th, 2026. That's it.
Got it. All right.
Yeah. So this conversation is like, boy, who you think you're talking to? It's a whole. It's like, good try though. It's right. Just good judo. I'm listening, but come on, fam. And I like it.
No, I was gonna say, so come on, fam. So you're saying that are you saying that as the dad is talking to Lauren, or are you saying the dad in response to the company?
Dad in response to the company.
Oh,
yeah. No. Oh no.
This dad kind of reminds me of you a little bit. He kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. He said, because the wife want to go. The wife is like, look, we could just go to Olivar. See, that's the thing, man. Everybody is fighting for something. Everybody is fighting for some type of peace, freedom, truth. And dad is so strong in his belief, though. He is so convicted that I feel like his worst flaw to me is his lack of adaptability. That's not exactly what I mean.
So there's a virtue of it, though, right? I think it sounds like you're saying his rigidity, and so and sometimes the rigidity allows us to, really stand firm and steadfast on our particular beliefs, but then also that rigidity on the other side of the spectrum makes us be too steadfast and on our beliefs that nothing else can actually change our mind when new information is presented to us.
Yes.
And so there's a plus and minus to that particular virtue of basically being really steady and so on. And so that's what happens. This is why it also I love that. I gotta quote Maya Angelou right quick. She talks about how it's necessary for you to always practice virtue practice courage as a virtue, because you can't practice any of the virtues effectively, right? And so in this case, this rigid, the reason why you stay rigid is to keep you safe. But if you practice that with courage, then you're also always you're holding fast, but you're also taking in and exploring. Sometimes you may be taking in like I'm open to the new stuff, see if it'll change, but I have this as a foundation just in case that logically or spiritually or whatever, it just doesn't make sense to me. And so I think that's where it is, and it sounds like that's what you're saying. Like, he's got a character trait that can go one way or the other for the benefit of the family.
Yeah, because it's not that you don't want to go to Olivar. What's happening is, if you don't want to look, his major thing was we can rebuild. I think that was his.
Yeah.
He just had the wrong take on where we are. If we're if stuff start happening right now, like I'm the guy that's saying, "Oh, I'm living in another country in the next 5 years." I already know it. I know it. Like it ain't no doubt in my brain because of the things that I'm witnessing. It's just like, I don't think we need to witness more. You're poisoning people. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
so to go somewhere else is like, okay, well, where you going in? So that's where I gotta figure it out. I gotta start researching certain things. And then when you go to a new country, you gotta learn a new language. What'd you say?
I said, you come with us. I tell you where we're going offline.
Okay. Yeah. I'm saying, and then it's going to be a whole new adventure, because the way time, how they say, when there's a new technology, time kind of speeds up just a little bit, and then it speeds up again. And like right now, digital age, everything's just, so, because they're going to chip you soon. Well, people already chip, but I'm talking about the mandatory chip.
People chipped here and here, and then so they got chipped, and they getting chips here.
Yeah, and they're gonna make that mandatory soon. I'm saying to where you have to get because I've witnessed what folks will do, and it's like fear is
for convenience. Oh yeah, they'll do. They'll put anything in their body. They'll.
That's wild, man.
I get it. Yeah, man.
Right. Sure. So we have to. So with Dad here, I understand his position. It's just that I'm like, if you could just listen to your baby girl, just listen to what she's saying. He didn't trust his progeny on that, and I think you have to. You've trained this girl. Have you read her writing? But he wouldn't know what to do with it. You'll read this book from these people you do not know. But your child got this whole thing going that's really like beyond her time.
For sure.
So yeah, man. And then her friend Joanne them, they got accepted to the KSF place. In Olivar. And so now it's like, now y'all leaving. I thought y'all said it was gonna be cool. You know, we had that whole conversation. And they had like a weird like conversation at the end before she left. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where she was like, is it in this chapter though? It may not actually be in the chapter. But before I even go there, let me read one more of her. This is what I'm gonna do with her these truths. And if they are true. All successful life, this is at the end of 11. Maybe like a couple paragraphs before the end of 11. She said, all successful life is adaptable. And that's what we were just talking about. Mystic, tenacious, interconnected, and fecund, if I said that right. Understand this. Use it. Shape God. I'm about to use that in my life right now. Like that to me, literally, in this moment, I'm like, except I don't know what the FECUND word means. I don't know what that word means. I have to look it up. Matter of fact, I can just look it up now because we got technology. Fecund. Producing or capable of producing an abundance of offspring or new growth. Fertile. That makes sense to me. I talked to my agent the other day and I told her the type of roles that I want to. I just told her all the things that I've been doing, which she knows, but I just had to put it in context. Like, boom, I'm doing this, this, and this. So, but I really want to do sci-fi, action comedies. You know, I want to go next level. So next thing I know, I got 2 auditions, sci-fi. Next level. And I was like, see, but I used the opportunity to speak to my agent, who I really respect. She's younger than me. It's really it's not weird. It's just our relationship is something that I don't know if it's common. You know, I wonder if she has other relationships with her clients like she does with me. Maybe not.
What's different?
Well, that we talk like, what's up? And then we're different. You're saying in
between like your agent's relationship and others.
Well, I think one thing, we're not teacher student. She's not my teacher. She's not telling me how to run my career. She's there to facilitate what I want. She's my agent. Right. My last 2 agents were very much like I'm reporting to them. Does that make sense? It's almost like they're the boss, I'm the client. And no, you're my client. I'm your client in a sense. Right. But if I'm your client, you're supposed to. It's like the customer's always right type energy. Yeah. But she's real, like she's 100 with me from what I can get, and I do my best to be 100 with her based on the relationship, based on how the game works. I know if I tell you this thing, you're gonna tell me no. So I gotta go do this thing, get it right, and then hey, it all worked out. Because I got to save her. There's that integrity. Like, I'm not going to put you in a position. Let me do what I have to do then.
For sure.
But yeah, man, cool. I think she says clarity and truth will be plenty if I can only achieve them. I'm trying to speak, ... to write, ... the truth. And I think
that's it. That's it. I
think this is a good place to leave off at. And now I know how to go into 12 through 25.
So this was another episode of As a Man Reader. This is Straight D
and Goolsby,
and we, as always, continue reading with us as we're finishing up Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower. And as always, Goolsby's going to tell you to
read a book. I just want to be chill. I want to be like,
you thought he was going read a book.
Switch it up on me.